Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Alex Avila with Invincible You, where we learn how to live with passion, purpose, and power. I'm a psychologist, author, and speaker. Every week we talk about how to improve your finances, your career, your relationships, health, and spirituality. We have some very wonderful guests today, a husband and wife team, actually, Jomilson and Theresa Alvarez, or Theresa Alvarez. They're certified adaptive special needs personal trainers. Now, Jomilson had a baseball scholarship. He was playing at a small Division I college, and he got injured, and then he started with his wife, who is a LPN, this interesting company where they help people who are disabled overcome disabilities through physical training. And they're certified through strong education, and they create training programs for people of all abilities to help them live active and healthy lives. Welcome, Jomilson and Theresa, to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you call yourself Saint Christopher on your program, and you said that's the saint of travelers. Tell us a little bit about how that developed that name for you guys.
Well, the whole start of the company, it all started because of my athletic background.
Yes.
Her brother is autistic.
Ah.
That's where it all started. Her was very, you can say, pursuant of me training her brother because of my background.
Yes.
And one day over a glass of wine, it turned into a conversation, and I sat down and spoke to my wife, and I said, why should it stop with your brother when there's a whole special needs community that can basically take advantage of this? And that's where we get the logo with the puzzle piece art, because it's all surrounding her brother, which is autistic. St. Christopher Fitness, it all starts off because, well, I'm in the conversion from Christianity to Catholic. I grew up Christian. So it's very interesting to me, Invincible You, which means too powerful to be defeated, you know?
Yes.
Because the God I believe in is too powerful to defeat. And so made in the image of God.
Yes.
So when we believe in that true God, we understand that we are too powerful to be defeated. And whatever we aim or we can achieve, if that God lead. So, and I sat down with my wife and I started looking up names and St. Christopher Fitness, because when we started, before we opened up the actual location, we were mobile adaptive special needs. So me and the whole conversion, I was like, oh, let's name it. Let's have it incorporated with religion.
That's interesting. Now, there are spiritual elements to physical fitness. We're going to touch on those.
Yeah.
Your body is as a temple, shall we say, and there are many elements to it. Now, you guys are also a Latino. I believe you're, say, Dominicano. Your wife is Cuban Italiano. So, ¿trabajan mucho con Latinos ustedes? Con clientes Latinos? Okay. And you're from New York, right? So I know there's a lot of Latins up there. Now, the idea of adaptive training is very interesting, where you help people who are disabled through physical fitness to overcome some of their issues. And physical disabilities, it could be moving, it could be people with sight issues, hearing issues, concentration issues. So up to 25% of people actually are disabled in the U.S., so that's a pretty big population. And the problems are things like being sedentary, being isolated psychologically, and also they can have heart problems. 2/3 are more likely to have, these individuals are more likely to have obesity and diabetes as well. So there are a lot of physical and emotional and mental issues that come up. So tell us a little bit about your program. So how do you work with someone, let's say someone that maybe has a physical, they can't walk very well for some reason. How do you help them with your training?
So with our training, what we do is we'll first do an initial consultation with every single one of our clients.
Yes.
We give them the opportunity to not just hear about what our company is about, but ourselves, and we want to get to know them. Because we believe that every single person, we're all unique, of course, so there's not going to be some cookie cutter program that is going to work for everyone. We like to pride ourselves on we really make everything cater to that individual and what is going to help them meet their goals.
Yes.
So we will sit down, we will do an evaluation, we'll tell them a little bit about our program. We do something called a PAR-Q, which is a physical assessment questionnaire. We'll go over some medical paperwork, make sure that there's no type of issues in regards to their primary physician that would inhibit them from doing any sort of movements or workout routines and such. And then from there, we'll sit down with them and kind of give them a game plan of what their goals are and what we can do and put together to help them accomplish them.
So say someone has maybe polio, spina bifida, muscular dystrophy, those kind of things. So what kind of exercises can they do? Can they do, I read something, they can do some kind of bicycle with the hand or something like that, or, training, maybe stretching, things like that, resistance. What can you do with people like that don't have lower mobility?
So in terms of that, we want to see what their strengths are. If it's something that, if say they have some of these diagnoses and they are wheelchair bound, then we are going to focus on their movements and what they can do in their chair. Because if that is part of their way of life and their mobility and how they're going to be getting from point A to point B, we want them to be able to be the healthiest and strongest they can with the tools that they utilize.
Yes.
So like you said, we can use resistance bands. We have an assortment of dumbbells that we can use with our clients, of course, assessing them with their strength and what they can tolerate. But we have different workout routines that we can do upper body as well as lower body with individuals in wheelchairs. If they don't have as much mobility in their lower limbs as a typical person, we can help with our assistants to do their leg lifts, to do their scissor kicks and such, because we don't want them to never, ever use it, even if that part of their body is involved with their diagnosis. Because the way we look at it is, if you don't move it, you lose it.
I like that. Okay. If you don't move it, you lose it. Yes.
Right. We don't like to use the word disability all the time. We like to say all have our differences.
Okay, good.
All have our pros and our cons.
Right.
So if they have this difference in their body or the way they can move, it doesn't mean that they can't do something just as well as some of their peers.
I like that because the idea of pain, I like to classify it as a sensation or even a color, maybe red or whatever color you call it. And then I talk about breathing exercises to help you change the color from red to maybe yellow or some beautiful color that's more soothing. So I know there's a lot of mind-body stuff going on here. The idea of transforming your body and your mind. And also the idea that, let's say you have what's called spasticity, where you have maybe tight muscles and all. Do you try to work on other muscles to compensate for that? Or how do you help people that have that kind of muscle rigidity?
Well, we actually have clients that have cerebral palsy with spasticity, and the way that we incorporate our workouts, being that we're certified in adaptive special needs training, that in general separates us from the personal trainers at a gym.
Yes.
We know how to deal with these individuals, and two of my best clients, actually, two of my strongest clients, you have John and Sean. They have these spasticities, and we work them out in a way. We work in a range of no more than 5 pounds, a higher rep range.
Yes.
But what you're going to do is when we're giving them these workouts, which are tailored to them, you want to engage their core, because these are people that are wheelchair bound.
Now, what is the core for those people that don't know the physical terms?
Yeah. Then you have you do all the other exercises, but at a higher rep.
Oh no, John said, what does it mean? The word core, what does that mean? Define that for me.
The abdomen.
Oh, okay, your abdomen.
So one of the most important parts for these individuals is that have a weak abdomen.
Yes.
The best thing you can do with them is strengthen those core muscles. Then everything else is just getting them in that range of motion, so they're using those muscles, not in a where you're giving them a heavy weight. Because when you give them a heavy weight, that spasticity worsens, and that's where a normal personal training would hurt these individuals.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Plus, they see a difference, and they see that they're gaining flexibility. And not only that, but we also use encouraging words, which also, so it's mind and body.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the whole idea, because from what I read, people with these special differences may feel maybe inadequate when they go to a gym, or they feel people are looking at them. They don't feel comfortable. But I think you said you guys have a special place where they can work out. Can they work out at home, online? What are the different ways you can work with them?
So we have a various amount of avenues that we can take in terms of providing our training to our individuals.
Yes.
We can still provide going mobile-wise to the individual's home if that works for them, if they have issues with transportation. We do have our physical location in upstate New York in Clifton Park. And we have created this welcoming space that will feel like when you walk in, it's a home gym. but it's, that you're there, it's catered to you, it's there to serve whatever purpose you are looking for.
Right. Now, Jomilson looks like a big teddy bear type, like very warm.
I'm there, and then we also do virtual trainings.
Oh, okay, excellent.
So individual doesn't necessarily, for whatever reasons, health concerns, of course, because of today's world that we live in right now,
right,
to get their services, but without us being there physically, we can do virtual.
Yes, that's very good, because I think nowadays with the pandemic, the idea of being isolated, feeling lonely and depressed for not just some people, but a lot of people are having this issue. I think the idea of working out, there's a lot of positives that the physical exercise can help the mental. And on your website, you have a very nice phrase that says, "I am stronger than you think I am." So tell us about that. That's kind of a powerful phrase. Who came up with that, by the way? Was it one of you guys?
It was both of us together, actually.
Okay.
And doing all the business documents and legalizing the business through New York State Department of Business. We sat down and we wanted to share basically a model for these individuals, because a lot of these individuals in society are put down. People see their disability and they say, okay, you can't do what I can do. So that stereotype. So it's letting everybody know that these individuals are stronger than everybody think they are.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I met with, you guys have heard of Nick Vujicic? He's a pastor that's born with no arms and legs. And he's actually a world famous, big speaker guy. And, he does like skydiving and, all kinds of amazing things physically. And, he has a lot of inner confidence as a result. And some people have that, that inner confidence. That's very powerful. Now, looking at you guys here, you look like you're a very happily married couple. How long have you guys been married? We
have been married since September 27th of 2019.
Okay. So you're a little bit beyond newlyweds, but a little bit in the honeymoon, right? So I'm going to think, how does this physical fitness help you guys as a married couple? And how can it help other people in relationships? Should married couples work out together? Some people say, I want my independent free time. And, other people say they work out together. What's your advice on that?
I believe it's extremely beneficial. Now, that might be a little, contradicting to some people's thought process of going to the gym. That's their form of therapy. They want to
So beneficial to work out as a team, as a couple, you're saying?
Right. I'm saying for us, we met each other and started working out together when we were dating. And
I was playing college baseball.
Yep.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. Did you meet at the gym or did you meet somewhere else?
Yes, we met at the gym.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So this is a gym romance, right? A gym love story. Right.
I truly feel that even starting when we were just our whole courtship phase, helping each other reach our goals in terms of health and physical fitness, it builds that whole new layer of our relationship.
Oh, wow.
And moving forward and, getting married, just us wanting to be the best version of ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for each other, for our children, for our family. It's an aspect of us that it's part of our relationship from the beginning. Okay.
So a new model, the couple that works out together stays together. That's right? Actually, I really haven't heard a lot of that. Oftentimes people say, I want, she goes to the spa and work, and he goes to work out, or, they come home. But you're saying, now does it depend on the couple? Do you think this is good for certain couples, all couples, the idea of working out together?
I want to say all couples, but I think it's really truly going to depend on person to person.
Yeah, it depends on the individuals. Me and my wife were very competitive.
Ah, okay. Now, is that good? That could be bad, no? I mean, could you get mad at each other if she beats you in the barbell or something?
Because when you team, I motivate her, I push her, so she increments weights. She does more reps, and I push her, and I'm there as a motivating factor.
Oh, okay. I see.
You can do this, and a lot of times you need that support person there at the gym. It's not for everybody. I'm very competitive. My wife is very.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I like that.
Competition, but at the end of the day, we're a team once we walk out that door. So
wow.
Ball turn into something big and unnecessary.
That's beautiful. That's okay. So if you do beat her, she'll make some tamales or something next day. You'll make some tamales. That's kind of cool. Now, in terms of visible, we're talking about positive psychology. So positive psychology researches things like optimism, gratitude, gratefulness. as very powerful motivators for people long term in physical and emotional health. So we're dealing with a very interesting dynamic here, the whole mental, psychological side of the body and the mind. And we know that there is a lot of great benefits from exercise, not just for people with, like I said, special differences, but also in general, right? The population in general. Things like lower depression. They find that you lower depression by up to 26% by doing, some kind of periodic exercise.
Sure.
Anxiety, we reduce the cortisol, the stress hormone as well. PTSD also has been known to be bettered by physical exercise because people get very stuck in their bodies when they have a traumatic event. Reducing anger, increasing motivation, resilience, confidence, happiness as well. The brain chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, and so forth, endorphins are released. So there are an amazing amount of positive elements. And also, you guys were talking about spirituality. Now, spirituality is a very interesting integration here. And it can actually improve that, depending on, of course, your practice, what you believe in. But the idea that your body is a temple for the higher nature, God or spirit, whatever you believe in, that you want to take care of. The idea that you want to have a meaning or purpose for your life, that you're here for a certain time, a certain purpose. And that this thing called pain, or we can call it sensation, as I said, can be a door to growth in some ways, to be able to have more patience and even more compassion. Because,
Sure.
All of us have suffered pain, but, when we see other people in pain, we can have more compassion for them and more empathy as a result of what we experienced. Now, you said your brother is and was autistic in the sense of, is that socially or also physically he has some issues?
Physically, no, he is a little bit in the higher range in terms of his weight, but it's more social and some psychological that he
Okay. I see. Okay. So that could be an issue, helping them with that. But things like discipline and also the idea of daily devotion. In some ways you go to the gym. I think Schwarzenegger called it the Iron Church or something like that, where it's almost like a spiritual thing where you lift the weights and there's a mind-body connection, right? The moment of now. How do you guys find that in your practice, the spiritual part of it?
Oh, that's a good question. The spiritual part of it, we fully understand, obviously, we all believe in something.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's God or a higher being or just your overall spirit or the spirits around you. And we don't necessarily touch into that right off the bat. I think with our programming, we try to get them and focus on their self-worth and their confidence initially, to get them into more a positive headspace. And then, moving forward and getting to know our clients and them getting to know us, I think making it a peaceful environment and having them see their goals, then we can kind of explore into them opening up their eyes to different opportunities in their spirituality, really listening to themselves, giving themselves purpose. Because we want all these individuals to know they have a purpose. Yeah. Whether, they have a minor disability or something debilitating and they're quadriplegic and they're wheelchair bound, there's a purpose for everyone in life.
Definitely. Yeah, and when I see Nick, the guy that has no arms and legs, the pastor, international speaker, he says, God didn't make no junk, and I'm here for a purpose.
Right.
And ends up he married an able-bodied woman, and they had 4 able-bodied babies. I don't know if you know the story of that, kids. That are taller than him, I guess. But he's very happy. So there's something very lovely about that, the spiritual transformation that people can go through, especially if you have these challenges, as you say, right? Physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Now, in terms of tips for physically special people, what do you say to them? I hear something about doing like maybe fewer reps or less weight, using your body as resistance, maybe swimming. I know there's something called sports you can use, right? Some kind of adaptive sports.
Adaptive sports.
Wheelchair basketball. I mean, you're a sports guy, right? You're, I think you said you college baseball player. You were doing well. Is it Pedro Guerrero? Is that the Dominican guy, the famous guy? That guy. But then you got injured. So how do you use maybe even sports or other things to help these folks?
Well, being that our clients range from elementary school all the way to adults that are in their 50s, with the younger adults, which are not able to, you can say, take the stress of weightlifting, not even 1 pound, because we're talking about elementary students. It's more of incorporating almost like a physical education session where we have them doing more aerobic exercises, where they're running around, doing push-ups, planks. Then you have some of our oldest clients, which Sean does sled hockey. So we train him.
Say that again. What kind of hockey?
Sled hockey.
What does that mean?
Sled hockey. So he's wheelchair bound, no use of his legs, and he's in a sled.
Oh, okay.
And
It's essentially almost like a bobsled. That
okay.
sort
Are you playing hockey? Do you have a little thing that you hit or something?
of blades underneath the sled, and then has his hockey stick
Sounds like fun, but it sounds a little dangerous, though. What if you lose the thing?
told us some wild stories about.
Okay. And other people with the same condition have the sleds, too? Are they all playing together?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Wow. Okay.
it's a big sport in the special needs community, and is even a part of the Paralympics.
Wow, interesting. Okay, so there are many ways. I guess swimming, I heard, is pretty good as well. It's less on your joints and all. And now the thing is, psychologically, I'm seeing that when it teaches you how to overcome, these challenges, how to stay busy or active despite the so-called obstacles, and maybe how to use it as an opportunity for growth. Have you had any success stories? People have said, I learned a lot, even within myself, self-confidence and all that as a result of the training, the physical training.
One of our initial clients, she started off and with us, and she played a couple of sports, but her mom really wanted her to focus on her core strength and upper body strength. And we catered a program for her based on her goals. And after maybe a month of session, her mother came back to us and talked about how her core has, or abdomen has, increased in terms of strength. Her body, she's able to move herself around for longer periods of time without getting exhaustion. And she sees her more happy and confident in terms of playing the different sports or the different activities she's involved with in school. So it makes us really happy, and it gives this sense of like satisfaction and just overall happiness, knowing that we're making an impact in people's lives, not just physically, but mentally and their self-confidence.
I can see this applying in many areas. For example, dating. People that have body image issues, can get into good shape. They can go out and find a good relationship. I can see it in work situations, right, where you also have more confidence in your work appearance and presentation, and overall self-esteem. People that maybe feel inadequate or shy, even aside from the special physical people, just in general, people that have all these, maybe emotional things going on, loneliness, anxiety. Also, if you're an extrovert personality, extroverts love to be out with people. So I can imagine being in a gym with people would be very good for them. They enjoy it. And introverts might be at home, right? They enjoy their home situation, so they can do the Zoom thing. But I think personality type could factor into it. Yeah. And I'm also thinking in general, like you guys can broaden, obviously this is a great community, but you're broadening it to a lot of people that are home now, maybe lonely, depressed, or, whatever, they need something to pick them up. And I admit, I gained some weight over the pandemic. I know some people did that. We stay home, right? We eat a little more, watch more television. So let's talk about some tips for that. They say that this can be kind of a lifestyle, the mentality of the physical fitness, not just something you have to do, but, like you move around more in the house, maybe do some gardening, play with your kids, run around with the dog. There are little things you can do at home, right, that you can also keep you a little physically active. Hula hoops, they say. Even video games. There's some games, I guess, where kids can be active, like dancing and stuff like that, movement. So what are some tips you can give to the people that are either introverted or just, they're staying home because of the virus and all, to still be physically active?
I think what's most important in terms of the best advice we could give for people who like to stay home is just find what your passion is, whether, if you don't want to be out in the community or in public, you want to be in the comfort of your own home, find out what your passion is in your safe space. Okay. And branch off on that, or just take a couple minutes just to be outside. The vitamin D and being in the out, whether it's just doing some yard work, whatever the case may be, can make a world of difference than just sedentary in the same spot all day, or maybe just sit on the couch and just getting up to use your restroom and back down. Keeping going and keeping you thinking and using that strong muscle that we like to talk about, but don't think about it, that good old brain that we have.
Well, think of you guys, Cubana Dominicana, playing a little music, salsa and all that. Are you guys into music?
Oh yeah.
Dancing? Okay, so people like to dance in the house. A dog, I guess, is pretty cool. You know, you can take the dog outside. And also they release endorphins as well, when you pet the dog. So I'm sure there are a lot of different things we can do. But I think the key is to do something, right? They say, even if you do, so a few minutes a day, to get in the flow of things. Because a lot of it's flow. People get stuck in these patterns, right? Sedentary, eating a lot. Did you guys gain weight at all in the thing or no?
We gained a bit. I was
honestly.
I was pregnant with my
we have a good excuse, right? You can eat.
June 2019. I had a son in January 2020.
Wow.
And then I had my daughter in January of 2021.
Okay. Wow.
Back. So I'm going through that whole journey of changes that a woman's body goes through. Going through pregnancy in general, but especially 2 pregnancies back to back. And I learned to appreciate and love the amazing things my body has done, and then a journey of getting back to being like a healthy, active lifestyle. Okay. And regardless if my body goes back to how it was pre-pregnancy or not, I appreciate every step of the way because of everything that my body has done. So there's a little bit of weight gain, during the quarantine.
So Jomilson, being you look like a pretty big guy. How do you give up the tostones, arroz con frijoles, all the stuff that we like as in our cultures?
A lot of things is about discipline. The biggest thing I learned, especially when I came up to play college ball in 2018, which was when I was physically at what I say my fittest, was that it's about discipline. Sometimes it's not about what we like, but about what we need. And a lot of times what people do, they eat because it tastes good, not because it's good for them, because what's good for you a lot of times doesn't taste good, but you know that you need the nutrition.
Yes.
So, the consistency, you got to be committed to your workout. Right. You got to be, whatever you're doing, you got to be committed to it.
Right. Of course, the holidays, that's one of the great pleasures, right? To get together with people, have great meals.
Oh, absolutely.
So do you get it one cheat day a year? Is that the idea? Or do you still try to maintain yourself, the low calories?
We try to maintain most the year round because that one cheat, but
with that being said,
it's the holidays. We have to understand that we're all human.
Oh, okay. So we have permission for a little bit of tostones or whatever.
Have to enjoy the.
Well, what do you Dominicanos love to eat? You get lechon or something? Do you guys do lechon?
Dominicanos, we like tostones. We like mango, which is a mashed plantain, almost like a mash. But it's big.
Oh, that's not too healthy. That's not too bad, right? Plantains, I guess, right?
We like salami.
Right. Be careful with that. Okay. Reggie, can you come over here, my producer? Now, I want you to meet Reggie, my producer here, who's actually been with me for a long time. And he actually is a high-functioning autistic himself, but he also wants to get into great shape. So can you give him a couple tips here, maybe a couple exercises we can do right now?
Yeah.
All right. Reggie, how are you feeling, by the way?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
So is one of your goals this year to get in good shape physically?
Yeah, no, I've been working out for actually the past 2 years since the pandemic started.
Wow,
so yeah.
So you want to get back, continue doing it. So
right.
Give us a couple of easy tips for us, especially introverted people that want to be at home.
So in terms of some easy steps, what we like to do is different workouts that will focus on a certain muscle group.
Okay, so let's say we're going to do the arms. Can we do something like this? What can we do right now?
Oh, absolutely. So what you do is that you can stand up.
Okay, stand up.
And whether you're doing just your body weight or a weight, it doesn't matter, whatever is most comfortable for you.
Okay.
You can reach down, so you would be going into a squat.
Okay, Reggie, go into a squat. There you go.
And then you stand up and you would throw your arms up as
Come
if
closer
you're...
to the camera so we can see you. Okay. So squat.
So we
there
squat down.
Squat down.
Squat down to grab.
All the way. Okay.
And jump up to reach up.
Whoa! I think you just broke my chandelier.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time. Do it slow.
So squat down.
Squat down. Okay, don't sit on the chair though. Squat.
And grab the weight and
grab
then...
the weight and go. There you go. Ooh, I like it. Right. Wow. How do you feel doing that, Reggie?
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah. This is like it's isometric. You're focusing, right, on your body.
So what because you said something for upper arm. So you're thinking, okay, this whole body is moving. How does that work out with my arms? Well, as you're squatting down, which will work on your core and your legs, your backside, you're going to reach down and you're going to grab the weight.
Wow.
And as you're pulling it up, you're engaging
Your arm muscle.
your biceps or your arm muscles. So
Okay. But is that a real weight, or are we imagining a weight? Can we do this isometrically?
imagine the weight, of course.
Oh, okay. So you imagine the weight.
And then you engage your bicep or your upper arm here as you're pulling the arms up. And then when you're pushing up to the sky, like we said, jump up.
Wow. Okay. Reggie tried this. I think you're already a macho man. Look at the muscles. Right? Thank you, Reggie, for coming in.
Thank you.
Good job, Reggie. Yeah, we don't want to make him too strong. Then he'll overpower me every day. So I don't want that. But that's wonderful. Yeah, those kind of things are good because people may not want to go to the gym for different reasons, because of the virus or, whatever it is. But I think that's wonderful that you guys can do that and that you are a married couple and happily helping people doing this. Now, I did see the movie Spider-Man, so I'm kind of curious. I don't know if you guys are into any of that stuff, movies. But if you had an action figure or some superhero, what superhero would you be? Let me start with Jomilson. Now, you're the Hulk-looking guy. I don't know if that's the one. Who would be your hero? Or who would you be like if you could?
Who would I be like? I like Batman.
Okay, Batman. He's got a little anger, like righteous vengeance kind of guy. Are you a little bit like that, Jomilson?
Yeah. But the way I see Batman, it's almost like Superman, right? A man in disguise. You really don't know who he is. He has his professional life, but then at night he's a superhero where nobody. He's saving Gotham.
Okay.
Basically, the way I am, you can say married, family man, and then
okay.
To save the world, and you don't really know who I am, but
I like that. And then you come home to your lovely wife, and then you're superhero for her too, no? Right,
yeah.
Right.
But the biggest thing about Batman is he's normal human like you and me.
Okay. So he's not enhanced with all these supernatural things. Just a real person.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. How about you, Theresa? What would be your superhero or heroine that you may identify with?
Say Wonder Woman. I was definitely.
Yes.
I was a personal fan of her movie.
Oh, were you? Okay.
But I think the message of just showing female empowerment really struck a chord with me, not just for entertainment purposes, because, we are fans of like the DC Comics and the Marvel movies, and we do appreciate and like those storylines. But when something like that showing the female viewers or the audience, the demographic that they hit, that, the fighting and saving the world isn't just for the boys. Kind of breaking that barrier in terms of, a woman just has as much capability as a man to be able to defend herself, take care of herself, be strong, and send a positive message and be held up to a high importance. Definitely
Very
something
nice. So Batman and Wonder Woman, that's going to make an amazing combination, right? You're going to kick Fanny all over the world, right? Help people. So you guys do have a mission, and I think it's a beautiful mission. So tell us, where can we hear more about you? Do you guys have a website? Do you offer any services? What can people know about you?
Oh, yeah. You can search us up on Google. If you type in St. Christopher Fitness, we finally got the code to be verified on there. So our location shows up. On there, you see where we're located. You can search up the website, stchristopherfitness.com. Okay. We're on Instagram, St. Christopher Fitness.
Perfect. Theresa, you have something to add to that?
No, we also, if anyone had any questions, you can contact us. Our information is all on the website, but we do have our email, stchristopherfitness@gmail.com. And you can also contact us by telephone at 518-553-0099.
Perfect. And it's been wonderful having you guys on the show. And if anyone's interested in learning more about your work, you can reach us at invincibleyounow@gmail.com. Call us at 310-226-8090. Follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram at Invincible You Official. So I think the most important thing here is that you're helping people transcend what we call so-called limitations, obstacles, psychological and physical, and give them a hope, a purpose, and a meaning. And that's very powerful. And the mind and body, there's such a powerful integration there that we know through a lot of research and through personal experience. Especially now, in these times, we need more people like you guys that can really inspire us and motivate us. So I really inspire you to keep doing your work And we'd love to have you come back on the show, either with a new baby, a new book, a new, whatever you have, a new idea. Okay. And what's that again?
We would love that.
We would love that.
Okay, well, fantastic. So until next time, this is Dr. Alex Avila with Invincible You, living with passion, purpose, and power. And go out and work out this week. It could be at home, in a gym, online. It doesn't matter. Be with people, be with friends, and contribute to making this a better world. Dr. Alex Avila, Invincible You. That was a great interview with Jomilson and Theresa Alvarez, a happily married couple who are actually adaptive fitness trainers helping the physically challenged people overcome those limitations emotionally and physically. But also it can be a metaphor, what we saw today, for our own inner limitations, psychologically, emotionally, maybe through anxiety, depression, fear, especially in times of the virus that we have right now, to how to overcome that, how to have more movement in our life, physically and emotionally, how to give to others, how to get out of our shell, shall we say, or our ruts, and do things differently. A little bit of physical exercise, reaching out to people, being grateful, being loving. So if you want to listen more of what we have to offer here, follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram at InvincibleUOfficial. Follow us on Twitter at InvincibleU_. You can subscribe to us on Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Call us at 310-226-8090. Email us at invincibleunow@gmail.com. So go out this week and be physically, emotionally, and spiritually active. Move your mind, move your body, move your soul. Until next time, this is Dr. Alex Avila with Invincible You.